Thank you all for coming out. We'll go ahead and call the meeting to order. And if everyone can stand for invocation by Deputy Judge Colton Simpson and continue to stand for the pledge.
Let's pray. Dear Heavenly Father, we are so thankful for this day. We're thankful for the sunshine today, and we're thankful for the warmth that it brings. And Lord, we just ask that you be with the court this evening, and Lord, be with this community. And we just thank you for all things. And it's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated. Jenna, if I can have you call roll.
Magistrate Humphrey.
Present.
Magistrate Coldiron.
Present.
Magistrate Riley.
Present.
Judge Chuck Dose.
Present.
No, I'm fine. No.
Oh, what that mean? Oh, wait a second. Here it is. I found it.
Oh, there's another one.
Okay, if we can move down to item 5, approval of the regular meeting minutes of April 15th, 2025, and the special meeting minutes of April 29th, 2025.
Having read the minutes from the regular meeting on April 15th and the special meeting on April 29th, I'll make a motion to approve as written.
I second.
I have a motion made by Magistrate Humphrey, a second by Magistrate Coldiron. All in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Appears all in favor, motion carries. Moving down to item 6, fiscal matters 6A, is approval of the claims on the general fund, road fund, jail fund, and forestry fund, along with all transfers presented dated May 6, 2025.
Having reviewed all of the claims on the general fund, the road fund, the jail fund, along with all the transfers, I make a motion that we approve as presented for May 6th.
I will second.
I have a motion made by Magistrate Coldiron, a second by Magistrate Riley. All in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Appears all in favor, motion carries. Moving down to item B, approving the recommendations of the bid committee for the Grant County Road Department for 3 bridges for bid for fiscal year 2025 and 2026. You all have those bids in front of us, and we have Marty here with E&H Bridge, and we also have Ron English here, who is the gentleman that put the bid in that builds our bridges. They were the only bids that were taken in. So on Wednesday, April 23rd, 2025 at 11 a.m., the bid committee met. Present in the meeting was Magistrate Shauna Coldiron, Grant County Attorney Stephen Bates II, Deputy Judge Colton Simpson, and myself. The bids were open, and thank you, Shauna, as you do every year. You put it in a spreadsheet and make this simpler for us to read, not so much on the bridges. There were just the one bid, but we're also going to be getting to the bid on materials. With the bids in front of you, I ask for a motion to accept the bids pending us getting reimbursed from the state. So, and that's what we're waiting on. Ron is approval. We've sent all that into the state for them to approve to pay on these bridges. So, but that's what I'd like the motion to be, is accepting the bids pending the final approval, and allow me to sign an interlocal agreement to or resolution, however they send it to us on the bridge projects. Does that sound right, Road Committee?
I'll make a motion to approve the recommendations of the bid committee for the Grant County Road Department on the 3 bridges, pending approval of reimbursement from the state, and also allow Judge Dills to sign the agreements as necessary.
And do you want that on the other materials as well? Or are you doing a second?
We've got it separately.
Oh, okay. I second.
Okay, I have a motion made by Magistrate Humphrey, a second by Magistrate Coldiron. All in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Appears all in favor, motion carries. Were there anything you all wanted to add, Marty or Ron, since you're here?
The only thing that we're kind of curious about when we start doing this, do you guys have a bridge in particular you want to do first? Because Ronnie said something about just doing that top first. I didn't know if you had one you wanted to do first. Because when I need to know that, I'll need to get started on those bridge plans.
I'm just curious, what is your estimated turnaround time? Like 2 to 3 days pending weather, a week and a half? And the only reason why I'm asking is if it's going to be a little bit later in the summer, I would like to check with the school system to understand the bus routes, if it's going to trickle into later into August, to understand from a priority standpoint which would be best.
Just replace the top, probably next week.
Okay.
The other two bridges are probably
Yeah, I was going to say,
Yeah, the
because
Ford's Mill and the Clark's
Creek
Creek.
and then Dry Ridge Mountain,
The top is Dry Ridge Mountain Zion Road, correct? Yes.
which that one would probably be highest priority just based off of the through traffic alone.
Yes.
Okay. Pending when we get the authorization back from the state, if we could coordinate with Joe, the road supervisor here, I just think it will be super important that we communicate with the school systems if it's going to be later in August and beyond.
And Joe, for flooding issues, Clark's Creek's probably affected the bottoms there or not versus Ford's Mill Road as far as
Like
the
second
second
priority.
project. Okay.
You just-
We'll just have to see, but Dry Ridge Mountain Zion Road we would do first.
So a week
Okay.
for the top and up to 4 weeks.
Might take a little bit longer than 4 weeks because it's all galvanized.
Right.
Okay.
There's a little bit more to it than the 588 weather and steel.
Okay.
Of course, the weather could affect things too.
Right.
Through that.
Well, as soon as I hear something, like I said, everything's been submitted to the state on what you had sent me on the bids, Ron, so hopefully, what was the date? Was it 1st of June?
When this is effective?
Yeah.
Yep.
It would,
Yeah.
No earlier than July 1st.
July
No,
1st.
July 1st,
Oh,
not
July
fiscal
1st.
year,
1st,
yeah.
So, yeah, we've got another less than 2 months, so.
So are you gonna try to get all three of them this year or go into next year too?
It's
Depending on,
probably, yeah, it depends on your all's build and how quick. I don't know if you'll get them all in this calendar year.
Well, I think we probably get 2 of them anyway.
up to 4.
Okay. Well,
Frankly, our positioning, as soon as we get the authorization from the state, post July 1st, we're ready to rock and roll.
so, but I'll,
As soon as you sign it, Judge, sign that first one, we'll be ready to start on the bridge plan.
okay. And as soon as I receive those documents from transportation, I'll reach out to Ron or you, whoever I can get hold of first. Okay?
Yep, and we want to thank all of you in fiscal court for giving us another opportunity.
Okay. Well, you build good bridges.
yes.
You do. So thank you all, and you're all welcome to leave. You don't have to sit through the rest of the meeting. I know you all got a busy schedule. Okay?
Thank you so much.
Hey, thank you all. Moving down to item C, approving recommendations of the bid committee for the Grant County Road Department materials and supplies for fiscal year 25-26. If you look through, I'll start first with, and you have on your spreadsheet all the bids that we received in for salt, gravel. So we'll go ahead and, on the first one would be our stone, and the only bid we received for stone was Kim Crupper. And these prices, I don't think's really changed too much from prior years.
No.
Had they, Shauna?
No.
So.
It went up maybe $1.
So I recommend that we approve the stone bid from Kim Crupper, and I can read it out. Number 11 stone clean was $31 a ton. Number 9 stone cleaned was $28.75 a ton. Number 8 stone cleaned was $30 a ton. Dense grade stone, $23.50 a ton. Natural sand, $21.50. Number 4 stone was $27.75. Number 2 stone, $25.50. Number 57 stones were $27.50. Number 304 stones was $27. Channel liner number 2, $35.75. Channel liner 3s were $39.75 a ton. And number 6 stone, $34.70. So I need a motion to approve the stone bid.
I make a motion to accept the stone bid as opened by the road committee from Ken Crupper.
I second.
Have a motion made by Magistrate Riley, second by Magistrate Coldar. All in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Appears all in favor, motion carries. Moving down to the next one on the chart is on the asphalt for hot mix base, and all these are be picked up at the plant, and hot mix surface. We received bids from Eaton Asphalt, Mago Construction Company, and Wrigler Blacktop. Okay, looking over it, and we'll start first with Wrigler Blacktop. Their bid for the hot mix base came in as the lowest at $75 a ton. So obviously I recommend it. And I spoke with Joe Gordon today, and we spoke on this. Also, Shauna, is Wrigler hot mix surface came in at $82 a ton, but the lowest bid was Mago, and they have 2 different locations, one in Lockport, one in Butler. Their lowest bid was out of their Lockport location, coming in at $80. So $2 a ton less than Wrigler. The issues that the road department has is distance, because this is pickup by us. And tell me again the distance it takes you to get to Wrigler's versus Lockport.
About 23 to 25 minutes to get the regular, and then it's about 45 or so to get to Lockport plus. And it's winding roads. That's the problem.
Yeah. So, my recommendation is that we go with the best bid due to the fact of the shorter location, especially we're dealing with hot mix, so they've got to keep that hot to be able to lay it. That we go with Wrigler this time around. There's been conversations, and I don't think it's confidential. Mago owns property here in Grant County that they may be opening an asphalt plant. If they had a plan here or something a little closer, we could consider them on these bids. When there's a little bit of difference is $2 a ton. It's not feasible. Then our other bid was on for cold mix. The only one that bid on the cold mix was Eaton Asphalt at $160 a ton. So I would recommend we do the blacktop motion, that we go with Eaton Asphalt on the cold mix and Wrigler Blacktop on the hot mix base and the hot mix surface.
I make a motion to move forward with the submitted bid from Wrigler Blacktop for both hot mix surface picked up at the plant for $82 a ton, along with the hot mix picked up at the plant base versus surface at $75 a ton, and Eaton Asphalt for the cold mix picked up at the plant for $160 a ton.
I'll second.
I have a motion made by Magistrate Riley, second by Magistrate Humphrey. All in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Appears all in favor, motion carries. Moving down to our salt bid, we had 2 bids, one from Kim Crupper at $119.85 a ton, and the second was from Morton Salt, $121.93 a ton. Obviously, Kim Crupper's lower on either one of the bids, but just as a note, Kim Crupper's delivery is next day, which is important during the winters. Morton Salt is a 20-ton minimum dump truck delivery, and they have a 1 to 10 day arrival. And I know in the past that's never been feasible due to the fact that we're getting close on salt and we've got several storms hitting. We need the salt as soon as possible. So I recommend salt bid go to Kim Crupper at $119.85 a ton.
I make a motion to accept the bid from Ken Crupper, next day delivery at $119.85 a ton for salt.
I second.
Have a motion made by Magistrate Riley, second by Magistrate Codar. All in favor saying aye.
Aye.
Appears all in favor, motion carries. Our last one on the bid sheet for materials is fuel, and this is the way they bid this in every year. Valor oil pricing will be a margin of 15 cents above Covington OPIS daily rack average pricing, and World Fuel Services / Liking Energy Solutions. Theirs is to provide a daily quote for gasoline, diesel, both on and off road. So what, as you all know, normally happens is Jenna will contact both of these vendors on the days that we're needing to order fuel and see who has the best pricing. So if I can get a motion accepting either one of these parties on whoever the best pricing is the day of order.
I make a motion to accept both parties dependent on the price of the going rate on the day that's required.
I'll second.
We have a motion made by Magistrate Codar, second by Magistrate Humphrey. All in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
It appears all in favor, motion carries. Moving down to item D, we have Jerry Keith with us with the Department of Transportation, and he's here to talk to us about state road projects and flex funds. And we look forward every year to hear from you, Jerry.
Yeah.
Judge, members of the court, and those present, yes, Jerry Keith here to present this year's 2025-2026 rural secondary program. And I know, or at least believe you all have that in front of you. We're primarily veterans of this, or we all are veterans of this. So we'll go right through it, and when we conclude, I'm happy to answer any questions about other exciting things in Grant County. But jumping right in, yes, this year's overall allotment from Frankfurt is $1,289,393. Out of that, we back out the maintenance and traffic portion of $515,100. Undistributed free balance goes back into the balance, which is money that we as a cabinet have not spent in previous cycles. You know, we estimate these projects, they come in cheaper. That just leaves money to go into the following year's program. That's what that 118 represents. County judge executive fees come out at $3,875, and then this year's flex funds, which for this portion of the exercise we back out of the overall available balance, is 15% of the allotment, which is $193,409 for the county of Grant. So that leaves we as a cabinet to spend, assuming the flex funds come out, $695,361. And this year we are proposing to continue paving and complete paving on Gardnersville Road, Kentucky 491, from North Fork Drive to the Pendleton Line. Last year's program, we were going from US 25 to North Fork. That is yet to happen. That will be paved this year. So hopefully, if this program gets let this year, we'll have it complete. If not, it'll be on June 30th of next year on all of our work. So that about 3 miles roughly of Kentucky 491. We'll complete that route. And then I'm coming back to Jonesville Road, Kentucky 36. We resurfaced this a couple of years ago. It was in terrible, terrible shape. And we that was a pretty successful project. It's held up fairly well except for some slides. We have 3 to 5 develop out there. One just in the last few weeks. I think there may have been a water line leak along the roadway, and it really slid on us. So I plan to come in and fix 2 locations. The mile points may not mean much to you, but there are 2 locations. One of those is a $80,000 line item, and the other is closer to a $100,000 line item. So we'll get those 2 slides secured, and then we're going to move to 1995 Simpson Ridge Road portion of that. They have different names for sections of it, but that will be from Heacon Road to 36. Is what we plan to do with our allotment this year. And then if you should decide you didn't want the flex funds and those go back into our budget, we would just keep working 1995 back Heacon Lawrenceville Road back towards 1993 is where we would go with our money. And always looking ahead, things change every year. It's all about need, you know. So at least right now, we would plan to complete 1995 next year with some money, and then 2946, which is that's a service road out of Sherman, heading south on the west side of the interstate. Cason Lane turns off of there. Very few homes, but being in this program, it's not a they don't consider low volume in the RS spending, so I'm able to get that. That's kind of where we're looking for next year.
Okay.
Pretty rough segment of roadway.
Thank you, Jerry. Does anyone have any questions for Jerry off of his presentation? So if we want to, I'll need a motion to accept the presentation, and also part of that motion is that we will maintain the flex funds for use on county roads.
I make a motion to retain our portion of the flex funds to maintain our county roads.
And to accept
And
the other roads that he did present, though.
those are state, aren't they, that he presented?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't-
but you'll
I
accept
don't-
that plan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
accepting his
Okay.
presentation, his plan.
Okay.
And us maintaining the flex funds.
Just give us the money.
It's that easy. That easy.
I will second her motion to accept the plan of the roads presented and to retain the flex funds for county discretion.
Okay, I have a motion by Magistrate Codhorn, a second by Magistrate Riley. All in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Appears all in favor, motion carries. Jerry, thank you for coming out. And
Thanks, Jerry.
You're very welcome. As always, you know that once you get the minutes completed, please send those to me. That goes as part of my package to Frankfurt to get this
Yes.
program rolling.
Yeah.
And what I didn't mention, Judge, I know we've concluded, but the 193 this year, you guys do have a balance in your flex fund account.
Yes.
It didn't show on
Yes.
the spreadsheet.
And I reached out to Jerry,
trying to work that
and then
out.
I talked to Craig
Caudle.
at Transportation, Caudell. Its reason why is we've already been allocated it, so
have not.
we haven't used it. But
Right.
the money's there, and
Yeah,
Craig.
we will be.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
But if we hadn't already sort of allocated for certain roads, then that money would have showed up on this document carryover, and that's why I called Jerry when I saw it. I knew that we had close to 400,000 in
Yeah.
total with the new flex funds and the carryover.
Okay.
So the money is there.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Okay, thank you, Jerry.
Thank you, Jerry.
Yeah, I noticed that right off the bat. That's when I started calling. Okay, moving down to, and you all have in front of you the packet, approval for myself, Judge Exec Chuck Dills, to sign the interlocal agreement for the health insurance provider. And just a little insight on this. This is the insurance being carried by the employees here at the courthouse, and also the library piggybacks off of this, and the road department. And after speaking to employees on this, a concern I had, and also Stephen Bates did when we started looking at it, was a 10-year commitment on it. But once you read it and the more you look at it, the whole purpose is there's probably 20 entities, and they're all listed in the interlocal agreement. It's almost impossible if you do it every 2 years, like most insurance companies, and get everybody, because they're all government entities. It's got to approve these in court meetings. It would be a nightmare to do this every 2 years. As far as the exit of the agreement, it's the 120-day notice. If we want it out, it's 120 days to exit out.
It
So-
is 120. I thought it was 90.
No, it's
It
120.
is 120, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, just a 6-month notice that you
Okay.
no longer want to participate.
That's fair.
So I would need a motion for me to sign the joint exercise of powers agreement to establish the operate and maintain the joint program for health insurance coverage for members to provide health insurance coverage to their employees.
I make a motion for Judge Executive Chuck Dills to sign the interlocal agreement for our health insurance provider.
I'll second.
Have a motion made by Magistrate Codon, a second by Magistrate Humphrey. All in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Appears all in favor, motion carries. Moving down to item F, we have a first reading on ordinance number 0003-2025-0286. This request was from Mark and Judy Shepard of a zone change. And that consists of a 1-acre site location at 3950 Elliston Mountain Zion Road, Grant County, Kentucky, and providing the recommendation be forwarded to the Grant County Fiscal Court, Williamstown, Kentucky. The change is to be changed from its present zoning classification of agriculture 1 to residential 1. Background on it, it's around a 25-plus acre plat of land owned by the Shepherds, and my understanding is that they're deeding off an acre lot for a family member. I believe it's their daughter, but it was for a family member. This went through planning and zoning, all approved by planning and zoning, no opposition, and has now been brought for us for first reading. Then on the second zone change, it's going to be a first read on ordinance number 0004-2025-0287. This is for Lisa Ship of a zone change. This is a 1.09 acre site located on the east side of Dry Ridge Mountain Zion Road, 0.24 miles south of Sherman Mountain Zion Road, Grant County, Kentucky, and providing the recommendation to be forwarded to the Grant County Fiscal Court, Williamstown, Kentucky. This to be changed from its present zone classification of agriculture 1 to residential 1. Similar situation. This is a 25-plus acre tract of land that Lisa Ship owns on that side of the roadway, and she is deeding off of this 1.09 acres to her son to build a residence on. So that consists of our 2 readings on that. We'll have that on our next court meeting for second readings. Moving down to 7, we have no old business to report on. We'll move on down to 8, new business. We have our National Public Works Week Proclamation 2025. Looks like we have Tyler Hill here with us from Boone County. And Colton, if I can ask you if you could read the proclamation.
Sure. This is the National Public Works Week Proclamation, May 18th through 24th, 2025. Whereas Public Works professionals focus on infrastructure, facilities, and services that are of the vital importance to sustainable and resilient communities and to the public health, high quality of life, and the well-being of the people of Grant County. And whereas these infrastructure, facilities, and services could not be provided without the dedicated efforts of Public Works professionals who are engineers, managers, and employees at all levels of government and the private sector, who are responsible for rebuilding, improving, and protecting our nation's transportation, water supply, water treatment, and solid waste systems, public buildings, and other structures and facilities essential for our citizens. And whereas it is in the public interest for the citizens, civic leaders, and the children of Grant County to gain knowledge of and to maintain an ongoing interest and understanding of the importance of public works and public works programs in their respective communities. And whereas the year 2025 marks the 65th annual National Public Works Week sponsored by the American Public Works Association and the Canadian Public Works Association. So be it now resolved, I, Chuck Dills, do hereby designate the week of May 18th through 24th through 2025 as National Public Works Week. I urge all citizens to join with representatives of the American Public Works Association and government agencies in activities, events, and ceremonies designed to pay tribute to our public works professionals, engineers, managers, and employees to recognize the substantial contributions they make to protecting our national health, safety, and quality of life.
Okay. Thank you, Colton. Tyler, if you can stick around after, I'll give you a copy of the resolution, or I'm sorry, the proclamation. And I want to thank you again, as with every year of coming to our court meetings for us to do the proclamation. Also, since the week of May 18th, 24, as always, I want to commend our Grant County Road Department, and we have Joe Gordon here with us with the as our road supervisor for the work you all do on our roads. And and especially thanks for this season. We've had a bad winter. You all done a great job on it, and with the flooding, a great job on trying to open our roadways up as soon as possible. So, Tyler, did you want to say anything?
First off, I wanted to thank you, Judge, for taking the time to do this. Magistrates, thank you for taking the time to do this. And thank you, Colton, for making your way through that entire document. I tell people all the time that I would more than happily sit on this side and shoot something from the hip than try to read in public. It's just not Tyler's thing. But I actually brought Rick Buster with me. Rick Buster is also, he's a former state president for APWA, but he's also came back around in the circle, and he is the Northern Kentucky branch president. And so he's going to tell you guys thank you as well. But, you know, truly with the winter that we've had, with the recent storms that we've had, I'd like to think that the importance of public works and the vital part and the role that we play has really kind of came to the forefront of the community's mind. And I appreciate you guys taking the time to recognize that and proclaim it, with lack of better words. So thank you, guys.
Well, thank you, and if you don't mind, stick around, and I'll give that to you. And then congratulations on your brother being appointed the new Boone County Sheriff. So,
Dad.
or Dad, yeah, Dad. I mean, yes, Dad. Yeah, I just talked to his brother Steve just the other day, so that's what happened to brother.
Yeah,
Yes, I'm sorry, your dad.
And actually, in case he's watching this somewhere else, our good friend actually just got appointed colonel to go along with him.
That's what I heard.
Yep.
So, yeah, Les will do a great job. You have a great father, and he'll be a great sheriff. So,
And I just wanted to thank you all for recognizing Public Works, especially, like Tyler said, with the weather that we've had. Public Works is our first responders. Joe, don't you forget, police and fire need heroes too. But we're all here to improve the quality of life for all, and I really want to thank you guys recognizing your Public Works.
okay. Well, thank you all. Thank you all for coming out. And then when the meeting's over, I'll give you a copy of that. Thanks, Tyler. Okay, moving down to item B, we have another proclamation, a Building Safety Month proclamation for 2025. Colton, I appreciate it if you could
Got it.
read that one.
The Building Safety Month proclamation of May 2025. Whereas Grant County is committed to recognizing that our growth and strength depends on the safety and essential role of our homes, buildings, and infrastructure play, both in everyday life and when disasters strike. And whereas our confidence in the resilience of these buildings that make up our community is achieved through the devotion of vigilant guardians, building safety and fire prevention officials, architects, engineers, builders, tradespeople, design professionals, laborers, plumbers, and others in the construction industry who work year-round to ensure the safe construction of buildings. And whereas these guardians are dedicated members of the International Code Council, a nonprofit that brings together local, state, territorial, tribal, and federal officials who are experts in the built environment to create and implement the highest quality codes to protect us in the buildings where we live, learn, work, play. And whereas these modern building codes include safeguards to protect the public from hazards such as hurricanes, snowstorms, tornadoes, wildland fires, floods, and earthquakes. And whereas Building Safety Month is sponsored by the International Code Council to remind the public about the critical role of our community's largely known protectors of public safety, our local code officials, who assure us safe, sustainable, and affordable buildings that are essential to our prosperity. And whereas Mission Possible, the theme for Building Safety Month 2025, encourages us all to raise awareness about building safety on a personal, local, and global scale. And whereas each year in observance of Building Safety Month, people all over the world are asked to consider the commitment to improve building safety, resilience, and economic investment at home and in the community, and to acknowledge the essential service provided to us all by local and state building departments, fire prevention bureaus, and federal agencies in protecting lives and property. Now, therefore, I, Chuck Dills, Grant County Judge Executive of Grant County, Kentucky, do hereby proclaim the month of May 2025 as Building Safety Month. Accordingly, I encourage our citizens to join us as we participate in Building Safety Month activities.
Colton, thank you. And I also want to thank Tony Ashcraft for what his office does on maintaining all of our building inspections and permits. If you notice, when you get down to reports, every month, there's quite a bit of building going on, which is a positive thing, so. Move on down to item C. We have Jason with us. If none of you know Jason, Jason's with AirMed Care Network, and I've met with Jason several different times, and he wants to give a presentation of their program with Air Care, and they're located, and I won't take this from you, they're located out by Grant County Hospital there on Mercedes Drive is where their helipad's at in their location. So, Jason, the floor is yours.
Judge, thank you. Court, thank you. Can I bring this up here?
Yes, absolutely.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You got a card.
Thank y'all once again for allowing me to be here. Let me grab one of those. If you have any questions, if you do have questions, please ask. This might draw some questions, and so please ask them, and I'll try to give the information. If I don't have it, I'll get it for you. But like he said, my name's Jason. I'm with AirMed Care Network. Locally, you would know us as Air Evac. We're the nation's and the world's largest company doing what we do. And our local helicopter, like he says, just sitting right over here off Mercedes Drive. And so we provide air care at a moment's notice. That's what we do to citizens of Grant County and then also the surrounding areas as well. And that care is not just from the hospital to hospital. It's also from different scenes and areas, we fly in and out of, support this area. And so two things I wanted to kind of accomplish today, and I'll try to be real quick, get out of the way, is one, if there's anything that we can do better to serve this community, y'all please let me know, and I'll pass that on to our operations people. And then the second thing, which is what I mainly do for the company, is propose to you our membership program that we have. And so what that membership program does, in a nutshell, and I'll give you the end result and back up, kind of explain more about it. If you're a member of ours, you or anyone in your household that has to fly, there's absolutely, we guarantee no out-of-pocket expense for them if they have to fly. And that's unlimited flights. And hopefully it's a never thing, but if it's more than once or once a year or two, whatever, there's no cost to you, nothing coming out of your pocket. And so on the front end of that, so how does that pertain to us? Well, we sell it a lot business to customer, sell it out here in front of different storefronts and vendors at fairs and that kind of thing. But also, we've gotten into over several years ago, offered it to businesses. And so this would be it's not insurance, it's a membership. So we offer it to a business. And so this would be for your employees inside the county, from everybody you got from the courthouse on, the sheriff's department, so forth, so on, everybody that's employed, we could offer it to them. And by doing that, it would guarantee them, and like I said, their entire household, of having no out-of-pocket costs if they have to fly. And so, but it's not just a local thing. Like I said, we're the nation's largest. And so once you buy into the network itself, like I said, locally, us as Air Evac. When you buy into us, you get anything that we own, any asset that we own that flies you, it's all the same to us. So if you're in California, Hawaii, Alaska, we're all over the place. There's maps in there. We're in 38 states. Flying hundreds of locations. We've got hundreds of assets located all throughout the United States. We've got stuff that goes overseas. That's a different thing. But we fly globally. And so, but everything inside the United States, which we're kind of dealing with here tonight, would be all available to you and your family's employees and all those things. And so, how that works, we kind of got three plans, and we've tailored them the best we can, to try to meet everyone's needs. We have what's called a group full. Now, the pricing on all this is all the same. You can find that in the back of your packet there. You got to have at least 3 employees for us to offer this to a business. And so we got businesses from little brick and mortars all the way to big foundries and factories. And county governments are great businesses of ours, fire departments, school systems, all those things are real popular business partners of ours. And so here we look at 3 different plans you can find inside your packet there. One of those being Group Full. Now, Group Full is you just buy it and gift it to every employee. But if that employee leaves, then that employee's taking that with them because you've gifted it to them. And you can go that route. A lot of people don't. Like I said, I'd be happy to present that route, but I try to be a good steward of people's money. So just always be aware if you go that route or decide to proceed, if they leave, they're taking it with them. The next one is the census plan. Just picture a bunch of slots off the Excel spreadsheet. And basically what that is if you normally run 150 employees, 200, whatever the case may be, you buy that many slots. It's kind of like a plug and play. So you got 150 employees listed there. John Smith quits. You delete John Smith's name. You hire Jane Doe. Jane Doe goes in there. Now her and her entire family is covered. And it's just kind of a plug and play. And it actually stays, the county owns that, if you will. It's the county's plan. And that would be called the census plan. It's a very popular plan for that reason. Then the next one we have, like I said, pricing's all the same across the board on all these. It starts out at $75, depending on how many employees you got. If you got over 150, it drops down to $70 where it starts at. We got what's called a payroll deduct, which is just your traditional. I come in personally, sit down, I meet with every employee in the county, talk to them. They can opt out. They'll sign a thing opting out, saying, hey, this has been explained to me, the company's offering it to me or the county's offering it to me, I don't want it. They can opt out, or they can sign up, and then it'll be spread out over however you all decide to spread it out over X amount of paychecks, and then it'll be deducted, and basically the county would pay that up front. And so once we got so many people signed up and it comes out to an X dollar amount, the county will pay that up front, and then the employee will reimburse the county on the back end. And so and we got it set up also that the county and/or business is not going to lose any money. That we rest assured on that. You don't lose any money. We're trying to build partnerships. We're trying to build long-term partnerships. And so that's kind of it in a nutshell. I don't want to take up too much time. But you could look at it like this. If you're a member, it covers you and your entire household. And we guarantee no out-of-pocket costs for you if you fly with us or any of our providers. And we're the nation's and the world's largest at doing what we do. And that's it. Like I said, there's my card. And feel free, if you got any questions now, you can ask, or you can call me if you want to just really dig into it. I'd be more than happy to explain more. I just don't want to take up all y'all's time this afternoon. Does anybody have any questions at all? There's probably a lot on you there. I'm just trying to, like I said, I don't want to take up all y'all's time. Is everybody good?
Yes.
Okay. Thank y'all for y'all's
Jason,
time.
thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
And Jason's a resident here in the county, so.
Well, good.
Moving down, you all have in front of you Treasurer's Report, Animal Shelters Report, Road Supervisor Report. Joe, any questions for Joe? He's here with us tonight.
We have his number.
Okay. They're not going to make you step up in front, Joe. Very nice of them. You have building inspector, the coroner, jail. We get the jail reports. We have Sheriff Dennis Weitzer is here with us. Dennis is going to step up.
I'll speak up. So another busy month. I didn't know Boone County was going to be here. I wouldn't say busy month because I'm sure there's a lot busier than ours, but with our low staffing, it's always busy here. So nonetheless, the Sheriff's Office activity in April, we responded to 754 calls. We investigated 18 collisions. We wrote 79 citations. We made 43 arrests. We opened 73 cases, served 175 civil and criminal process, 277 auto inspections. We did do 3,224 prisoner transport miles this past month. We did 81 hours in court, and we brought in a little over $76,000 in revenue. Just a couple things that I want to mention to the court too. We did hire 3 new deputies last month in April, Dylan Bossy, Dustin Grady, and Dakota Combs. And Dylan and Dustin will be going to the police academy in June, and Dakota will be going in July. And we're currently accepting applications for deputy sheriff for the 2 deputies that we recently lost.
Okay. Thank you. Anyone have any questions for Sheriff? If not, thank you, Dennis.
Thanks, Dennis.
Moving down, judge's report. I think we pretty well went over everything, so I'll skip on down. Roger, anything to report on?
Nothing to report.
Shauna?
As on the ambulance district, we had the meeting last Wednesday, and the ambulance district did decide to go with Dry Ridge in an interlocal agreement of some form or fashion. I don't think that's totally been developed yet, and I think the length of the agreement, they had wanted 3 years, but I think that's going to be reduced, so they're still continuing to work on it.
Okay, thank you. Jacqueline?
Nothing specific to report this evening.
Okay, thank you. Move down to item 10. Anyone from the audience want to bring anything before the court? Yes, Dave?
I have 2 things. I'm David Rose, a citizen. The first one, a month or so ago, and probably a month before that, I brought up about the speed limit
On Crittenden Mountain Zion?
Mount Zion Road past the golf course heading west, and also 491 out of Crittenden heading west. There's a sign that says speed limit on N45 mile an hour speed limit. So that would take it up to 55 miles an hour on a state road, I would say.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm saying that that is too fast a speed limit. About a month or so ago, there was a hit and run at the bottom of 491, meets 1942, going around Zion.
Yes.
There was a gentleman, I believe, that had problems with his motorcycle, and he was doing something to it, and a truck came by and hit him and took off running. And I'm just saying that speed is dangerous, and it should be 45 miles.
If I'd have thought of it, we would
Would have
have
grabbed him.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
would
The guy
have
that
talked
was
to Jerry
behind you.
Keith that was sitting behind you. Now, I've called District 6. Now, he's out of the local. He's the engineer, our local engineer with the State Road Department. But my understanding, they were sending it over to the division that does the counter, and they were going to put a counter out, checking traffic flow, however they do their study to assess that. But I'll be glad to call them back again. And
You don't need to put a counter on it, all you need to do is change the truck speed.
Yeah, but they won't.
But they-
won't change it until they have data.
yes, they will not just calling them and tell them to change speed limit sign. They just will not do that.
I guess you can't fix stupid. And the other, another issue, and I think someone bring it up to the meeting, the ambulance board. And the first thing I want to say is, in God we trust, all others bring data. I hope you get that. I printed this note sheet out on our ambulance taxing district based on the interlocal agreement that the county came up with. And I've got copies for you all, and I made one change on this just the other day. But anyway, I read this. Well, hit that. Anyway, I read this to the board last week, and this interlocal agreement, the one we had before, and now this one is from June or July 1st to the end of the year, I think it is. Or,
I had thought
it's a year.
it is a year. They have actually finished that yet? Because no one's notified me.
Well, I'm just going by the one that we've had.
Oh, okay.
From 7/1/24 to 6/30/25.
Yes.
This is the one I'm referencing, but also the one before that. Most of the language is identical on both of these. And just to hit you about 8 or 9 points, I know we're time-driven, but anyway, the number of EMS runs. The city of Dry Ridge, through its mayor and/or designated representative, shall report to each member's respective legislative body the following information, including but not limited to: A, the number of EMS runs inside the limits of the city of Dry Ridge; B, the number of EMS runs to each city and county of grant; reimbursements and reimbursement rates the city of Dry Ridge receives for the various types of runs, non-emergency transports, automobile accident, jail runs, etc. D, current financial audit / report maintained by the city of Dry Ridge. E, the financial audit for personal cost on a quarterly basis. F, budget itemization as to how personnel and cost payment are being used and applied on a quarterly basis or upon request by the board. G, the annual yearly audit report reflecting personnel costs of the city of Dry Ridge EMS. The city of Dry Ridge shall provide no less frequently than annually part of the existence of policies of liability insurance and workers' compensation insurance to the parties of this agreement. And I, any further information or data provided by or requested by and between the parties of this agreement. And I'd like to add a couple of other metrics to this. One is the amount of time from the time they leave their sitting station to answer a call to when they've been relieved of that obligation. I'd like to have that time recorded. I think that's important to know how long they actually spend out on a run. And the other thing is, I'd like to know the cause. I don't care about the individual, the address, or any of the other stuff. The only thing I would like to know is the cause. And the cause, like heart attack or whatever, but you get a database and you see maybe you need more equipment for this issue or newer equipment. So what are we dealing with? I mean, what is...
They have that data from dispatch. I mean, the minute that they're dispatched to the call, the minute they arrive on the scene, the time length that they're on the call, and then when they're dispatched from that call, and then what the call
Like
is.
the type of call.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, whether it's a stroke, heart attack, what type of equipment's used, whether it's BLS or ALS. I mean, that's all
Call
tracked
assist.
internally for the ambulance services to know that data.
It's also tracked by the state the same way.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. I'm not so sure that has to be turned into the state too, to make sure they're, abiding by their rules, but
Yeah, they know that information. As far as it, like being public release, they can't release somebody's,
Oh, yeah.
Dave Rose
No.
had a heart attack at your address.
Well,
public.
I'm not asking that.
Yeah.
I'm not asking that. I'm just looking for the general data. So I inquired of the board as to the required reports that are supposed to be issued by the Dry Ridge EMS, both quarterly and the annual. The reply was basically go to the 911 board, as that is where the information can
And
be
that's when they
had.
present the
Well-
information to myself and the mayors.
My question to the court is, does a 911 board provide any financial assistance to the Dry Ridge EMS?
Yes.
do they?
Financial assistance?
Yes, with radio equipment. I mean, anything that transmits and receives from dispatch.
Other than that, what else?
But
do
I mean,
they-
you asked me a question, do we?
Well,
Yeah,
I'm
there
just
is some
saying,
financial support.
actual dollars.
No, and if you're asking why they meet at the 911 board, it's because all the mayors and myself are here. So after we adjourn from the 911 board is when we had the discussion on the reports.
Okay, well, the reason I ask, the interlocal agreement for 7/1/2024 to 6/30/2025 requires 4 entities to contribute to the Dry Ridge EMS. They are Corinth, Crittenden, Williamstown, and Grant County. Nowhere can I find mention of the 911 board. So I asked again, and the chief from Dry Ridge said, we'll go to the 911, and that just kind of went like that right over my head until I started thinking about this the other day, and that's when I revised this sheet. I added one line on this sheet. Corinth, for this year, has to pay $12,000. They have to reimburse Dry Ridge EMS $12,000. Crittenden has to $209,912 and some change. Williamstown $313,887, and Grant County $678,178. These are the four entities that are due the report. They shouldn't have to go to a second or third party to get the answers to this, because they're putting up the dollars to pay for this. And I just feel that there's a miss going somewhere. Now, the board is working for the county, represents a county, so all this information can go to the board, the data. And again, in God we trust, all others bring data. We have to have the data. The board it's critical for them to get up to the date data on what's going on with the ambulance service, complete with cost, equipment, personnel, the whole bit. And these four entities that pay for it should get a report every quarter and get the annual audit also. And not by the 911 or anybody else. It should be sent to them, period. And I think the court, bear with me, but I think the court should demand that, because that's what the interlocal agreement.
Well, Dave, we do receive that. The mayors and myself receive that quarterly, as that says. It's done after the 911 board meeting. The only reason it's done in that fashion is because all the mayors and myself are here together, so that we have any questions. It's a whole lot easier than individually getting that information. They bring it to us.
Well, I would like to see it published also, because as citizens, as taxpayers, we should see where our money's going and how it's being spent and what the needs are. And again, I think it should be published. I mean, we need transparency on what's going on. And lastly, I'm going to tell you, it was brought up again at this board meeting, the fear factor. They got, I think it's 2 or 3 people that have quit. And there's a doubt going around in the county, and it's on Facebook, they're saying, and whatever, that they don't know what's going to happen to the ambulance service. And I'm asking, where's management at on this? Number one, it's already been stated we don't want a private entity doing ambulance service. So therefore, all the people and they're good people that are doing EMT work, and I don't take anything away from any of them. Same as the firefighters, they're doing a great job. But nobody should be in fear of losing their job, because if Dry Ridge stays with it, those people are going to have a job. If the county takes it over in 2 years or whatever, they're probably going to use those people. The only reason people leave, and this is what I told the board, it's the same as the sheriff's office and the teachers. Somebody new gets 2 years under their belt working in Grant County, they put it on their resume, and then they go up north and they make $15,000, $20,000 more. And we're going to have that.
That's what happened to the 3 that's gone. They went to greener pastures.
Right, but
They didn't go because they were afraid of losing their job. And I'll be honest with you, the fear of losing job and all that rumor has started internal with Dry Ridge.
Well, and that's the sad part. You wonder where management is that puts up with that kind of stuff, that doesn't, because common sense. I mean, if we just use common sense.
Dave, the true fear is not as much about losing a job as the fear of the unknown and change. People fear unknown, they fear change. And I know Boone County's merged fire departments, and people are afraid of mergers, and now we have an ambulance taxing district board that will provide that service at one point, but they'll contract starting July, the board will, with it. And I know that Tony Morgan, the chair, has been getting that information, has been distributing it to his board members as they're getting it, and I believe they will look closely at it. And Sean is serving on there as a ex officio and be receiving that same information.
Well, I appreciate that, and I thank Shauna for bringing this up. And I think it should be brought up at every fiscal court meeting, what's going on with the ambulance thing, because that's important. The primary jobs of government is roads and citizen protection. I mean, that's a primary purpose. So I'm thinking that we really need transparency, and the citizens really need to know what's going on with the ambulance service and what's going to happen, what the plans are. Anyway, I appreciate the court's time, and I thank you very much. And I'll just give you, this is just a question thing that I just had going on.
Thank you.
Did you take one of those to Tony?
Yeah, I
Okay.
Here.
3 or 4 of these.
I think I got
had
2.
3 or 4 of these done.
Okay.
I printed, so I couldn't. But
Thank you,
it was
Dave.
just some questions that I had.
Okay, thank you, Dave. Anyone else? If not, I want to remind everyone, our next court meeting will be Tuesday, May the 20th, 2025, at 6 p.m. here in the courthouse. I need a motion to adjourn.
So move.
No.
I make a second that we adjourn. All in favor of saying aye?
Aye.